Once upon a time, in a quiet little village surrounded by green hills and sparkling rivers, there lived a young boy named Oliver. He was only 7 years old, but his heart was already filled with curiosity and dreams bigger than the tallest mountain. Every morning he would run barefoot into the garden, chasing butterflies and talking to the birds as though they were his best friends. His grandmother, Grandma May, often watched him from her rocking chair with a warm smile, for she knew Oliver's imagination was brighter than the sun itself. At night, when the stars came out one by one and the moon climbed high above the rooftops, Oliver would curl up beside Grandma May. She would tell him stories about magical forests where animals could talk, brave explorers who discovered hidden treasures, and kind children who changed the world with their courage. Oliver loved these stories, but more than anything, he wished he could have an adventure of his own. One evening, just as the sun was setting and the sky was painted with streaks of gold and pink, Grandma May leaned closer to Oliver and whispered, "My dear boy, they say the forest near our village hides a wonderful secret. Only the bravest hearts can discover it. Perhaps one day you will be the one." Oliver's eyes grew wide with wonder. "Really, Grandma? What kind of secret?" But Grandma May only chuckled and shook her head. "Ah, if I told you, it would not be a secret anymore. Remember, Oliver, if you ever go searching, be kind, be brave, and always listen to your heart." That night Oliver could hardly sleep. He tossed and turned, dreaming of tall trees, glowing fireflies, and magical creatures waiting just beyond the edge of the village. By morning, he had already made up his mind. As the first golden rays of sunlight touched the rooftops, Oliver packed a little bag. He placed inside an apple, a piece of bread, and a wooden whistle his father had once carved for him. With a brave heart and quiet steps, he slipped out of the house and made his way to the edge of the forest. The trees stood tall and proud, like guardians of another world. Their branches swayed gently in the wind, as if whispering, "Welcome, little traveler." Oliver felt both excited and nervous, but he took a deep breath and stepped inside. The forest was alive with sounds he had never heard before. Birds chirped melodies that sounded almost like songs. A stream trickled nearby, its water sparkling in the light that filtered through the leaves. Suddenly, a small squirrel leaped from a branch and landed right in front of him. Its fluffy tail twitched, and its little eyes studied Oliver with curiosity. Oliver bent down and smiled. "Hello there, little one." To his amazement, the squirrel chattered back, "Well, hello, traveler. What brings you into our forest?" Oliver gasped. You can talk?" The squirrel puffed up proudly. "Of course I can. My name is Pip, fastest nut collector in the whole forest." "And who might you be, boy?" Oliver's heart pounded with excitement.
"I'm Oliver.
"I've come to find the secret my grandmother told me about." Pip tilted his head, his whiskers twitching. "Ah, the secret. Yes, I know of it. But only the kindest and bravest may discover it. Do you wish to try?" Oliver nodded eagerly. "Then follow me," Pip said and darted ahead. Oliver hurried after him, deeper into the magical forest. With every step, the trees seemed to whisper softly, sharing stories of long ago. Fireflies danced in the air like tiny lanterns, and the smell of wildflowers filled the breeze. Suddenly, a deep, soothing voice echoed from above. Who enters my woods with such eager steps?" Oliver looked up and saw a wise old owl perched on a high branch. Its feathers shimmered in the sunlight, and its golden eyes shone with ancient knowledge. Pip bowed respectfully. "This is Oliver, a human child who seeks the secret." The owl nodded slowly. "Ah, the secret is not found so easily. He must first prove himself." Oliver stepped forward bravely. "What must I do?" The owl spread his wings and said, "You must answer a riddle, for wisdom is the key to every path in this forest. Listen carefully. I fly without wings, I cry without eyes.
Whenever I go, darkness flies."
What am I? Oliver thought hard. He repeated the words softly to himself. I fly without wings, I cry without eyes. Whenever I go, darkness flies. He frowned, then looked at the sky. Suddenly it came to him. The answer is the wind. The owl blinked, then nodded approvingly. Wise indeed, young one. You have passed the first test. Continue onward, and may your heart remain brave. Oliver beamed with pride. Pip clapped his tiny paws and squeaked, "Well done, Oliver. You truly are brave." They continued their journey, and soon they came upon a meadow glowing with golden light. In the center of the meadow stood a deer with antlers like shining silver. The deer's eyes were gentle, but her voice was firm. "Little traveler, kindness is the second key. Before you lies a challenge. Do you see the bird trapped in those vines?" Oliver looked and saw a small bluebird struggling to free itself from thick, thorny vines. The deer spoke again. "If you wish to move forward, you must help the helpless, even if it costs you effort." Oliver did not hesitate. He hurried to the bird and carefully began pulling away the vines. The thorns pricked his fingers, but he did not stop until the bird was free. The little bird fluttered its wings joyfully and chirped, "Thank you, thank you. I will never forget your kindness." The deer smiled softly. "You have passed the second test, young one. Remember, true strength is not in power, but in kindness." Oliver felt his heart swell with warmth. He was tired and his fingers hurt, but he also felt stronger than before. Pip patted his shoulder. "You're doing wonderfully, Oliver." They continued walking, deeper and deeper into the forest, where the light grew softer and the air filled with the scent of honey and pine. Soon they reached a crystal-clear lake. On the other side was a glowing cave, shimmering like it was made of stars. Pip whispered, "That is where the secret lies, but the path is not easy. Be ready." Oliver nodded. As they approached the lake, a great shadow rose from the water. It was a dragon, but not a terrifying one. Its scales shimmered with rainbow colors, and its eyes were calm but powerful. The dragon's voice rumbled like thunder. "To reach the cave, you must face your greatest fear. Tell me, child, what do you fear most?" Oliver trembled. He thought of the dark nights when he was afraid to be alone, of storms that shook the roof, of losing the people he loved. Finally, he whispered, "I fear being alone." The dragon lowered its great head. "Then you must learn that no heart is ever truly alone when it is filled with love. Look around you, Oliver. The friends you have met, the kindness you have shown, these bonds will always guide you." With that, the dragon lowered its wings to form a bridge across the water. Oliver and Pip crossed carefully, their reflections shimmering on the lake's surface. At last, they entered the glowing cave. Inside, the walls sparkled like diamonds, and the air was filled with soft music, as if the cave itself was alive. In the very center stood a pedestal, and upon it rested a crystal glowing with pure light. Oliver stepped closer, his heart pounding. The crystal spoke in a voice like 1,000 bells. "Oliver, you have shown wisdom, kindness, and courage. These are the true secrets of the forest. Not gold, not treasure, but the strength within your heart. Carry this light with you, and you will never be lost." The crystal floated gently into Oliver's hands. Its warmth spread through him, filling him with peace and joy. Pip cheered, "You did it! You found the secret!" When Oliver finally returned to his village, the sun was setting once again. Grandma May was waiting at the gate, her eyes twinkling. She smiled as Oliver ran into her arms and showed her the glowing crystal. "I knew you would find it, my dear boy," she whispered. "But remember, the true treasure is not what you hold, but who you have become." That night, as Oliver lay in bed, he felt braver, kinder, and wiser than ever before. And though his adventure in the magical forest had ended, he knew in his heart that many more journeys awaited him. For the world is full of secrets, and those who walk with courage and kindness will always discover the greatest treasures of all.